keep saying I'm not going to do another one of these sort of videos. I'm entitled to my opinion as much as anybody else's, and as everybody else is making about 10 videos a piece on every change that comes. I'm sure I'm entitled to make one. just one, quiet one, you know. So we've already discussed the hour one, the 4,000 hours, the one that looks like everybody's rushing to make 4,000 hours and seems to have forgotten that you need 1,000 subscribers no matter how many hours you get. So you can have as many hours as Musk has dollars. But if you've only got 999 subscribers, you're going to make it. But what about the other change that has come along and I think takes effect... why does your nose always itch? Takes effect tomorrow at the time of this recording. Today, by the time you watch it. If memory serves. And that is the view count is going to change. Well, as it's going to change, it's going to appear to increase. But is it really going to increase? Well, yes and no. Apparently, the idea is that every time somebody clicks, so every time a frame is played, it's going to chalk up a view. So you're going to increase your views, but that doesn't mean you're going to increase the valued hours. Oh, there we go. So, you're not going to increase the valued... Well, you're not going to increase the valued hours. No. That's it. Should we shut now? I hope. You're not going to increase the valid hours again. So you really, in some ways, earn is going to become a more important tab to try and get that. Unless there's some way of sorting it out, you're not going to know whether somebody just passed over and activated your video for one frame. Downside of this, I can see loads of people, big channels going, hang on, about 10 times your views and I'm still only getting the same money. Well, yeah, because you're stable, really. Your rate is not increased, your money hasn't decreased as they're going to try, and some people are going to start saying. It's simply that now you just see it, everybody who ever clicked over or accidentally activated or watched for about 1 second your video rather than about however long it is. I didn't escape my notice though, as well, that they went and decided to have a supposed, well, I'm not saying supposed, it probably was. This way. I can hold it better this way for some reason. Former YouTuber to announce that change, and then they were reading just the written statement. Clearly, they were supposed to psychologically set up how the statement was received, because you would have thought that somebody would have gone and tried to explain in a more human fashion what's actually going on. Apparently nobody knows whether it's a half minute before your counts are valid or not. Which seems an odd secret. I don't see why that would be a secret anyway. But if it is a secret, well, surely now with even more increased views going to be about to be counted, you would think, therefore, that would be more of a valid point, or more of a, what can I say? Something more important to know, because how are you going to make sense of all these increased views that could, I mean, it depends on how big an increase it's going to be. It's a bit like, I suppose, in some ways, here's how many views you could have had if somebody stopped. But yeah, people are going to start to think, oh, I'm doing really well, I've got 10 million views, but why have I still only got the ones I had when I had about 1 million views? Still only got the money. Oh, it's not working. I have to go ahead and, quit. Most of those videos, I think, that people post to quit are just clickbait. Between you and me, how many of them actually quit? If somebody does know how many of them actually quit after they say they're quitting, you can mention it in the comments. But some of them seem to still be there later. I'm going to quit. I've got 10,000 views on this thing. Why would you quit now? I get no views. I've got 10,000 views just on that video. That's what I regret. Not regret. That's why I'm careful about what I put. That video I went and said, well, there's no subscribers, it doesn't matter, more or less, or whatever I titled it. That was a literal truth. I wasn't lying. It wasn't a big deal. Suddenly got subscribers, which, you know, I appreciate, but that wasn't its aim. That's why I'm not putting 4,000, 8,000 icons or whatever you want to call it, or headings on these, on that other video, or I'll be careful what I call this one as well. But yeah, so they're going to be loads of people looking at their metrics or analytics or whatever the name they want to call them. But I don't know how they're going to work it all out. Unless you start telling people what counts as a valid view, or you're going to have to start working it out. It's, yeah. I mean, it's not a big... Damn it, fly. Loads of flies as well. It's not a big concern. By any means, I wouldn't say. But, now what can I say about this? I think we're going to see a lot of videos about money being cut because it looks like they're getting less. Probably more videos about I'm going to quit. All to generate, presumably, views and the like. I'm afraid the rest of us are just going to have to struggle no matter what. We're probably going to rely more on that earn thing to try and work out what the valid hours are, you know. There's about 50 difference between what it says in that graph at the top and what it says in there. I presume that that's the more reliable one. The other one presumably includes the few shorts that I did. But yeah, so I mean, we'll wait and see. I mean, who knows? Views might jump out or through the roof just because they're counting every time somebody goes near it. There again, it might not be the increase that it's supposed to be. I mean, it's going to vary from channel to channel. That's clear, I think, and that's to be expected. So one person's going to go and get views they never had before. Somebody else is going to say, well, I don't see much difference. Depends on how much pushing of your video there is, how many views you already get, how many people accidentally tend to skip across your videos, how many of them think it's about one thing and find it's about another. I don't know. I mean, it's just the usual, isn't it? You know, things change. I mean, I've only been here, what, since December. How long's that? Was it 8 months? Yeah, it might be about 8 months. So that in no way makes me an expert. No way. I mean, I know there's people who've set up channels probably on about that amount of times presence on the platform, as they say, whose channels will tell you how to do YouTube, presumably. Maybe they know and studied more of it than I have, but I wouldn't say how to do YouTube. I don't know YouTube. If I knew how to do YouTube, well, you have to look at the subscriber count. That'd have a few more zeros after it. And as for my watch hours, I'd be like most of these people, I'd already be there. I mean, a lot of the people I've noticed talking about these changes and releasing 4 or 5 videos a piece on these changes. So therefore, as they said, driving some views. Mostly, I'm not saying all, but mostly have already gone over the subscriber amount. Most have gone well over the hour amount. Many of them in the silver play button category. So, you know, don't know what that says about them. Apart from the fact that they're there. They are where you want to be. Where I would like to be, perhaps. But then again, we just got to work on it, haven't we? And not bother. So yeah, we're going to suddenly all, I think, see a lot of increased views that are not really views. Some of us are going to think we've got 4,000 hours when we haven't. But anyway, like I say, it still goes back down to even then the subscribers. It's almost like, I don't know, but it does strike me as a bit of a thing. First of all, they increased the hours to 8,000. Now they're increasing the views, so you look like you're getting more views. So Whether that will increase the hours on the graph rather than the valid hours, I don't know. It's almost like you're going to be, oh, I'm doing so much better. Why am I still not achieving the target? What can you do? Just keep going. If you let all this stuff get to you, you'll be driven completely and utterly nuts. That's why I'm not letting it get to me. I mean, you can run the calculations for your own channels. Ooh. You'll probably find that, depending on where you are, you need the equivalent of astronomical numbers of hours, or the equivalent of astronomical numbers of subscribers. So there's a lot of loose rocks on this path all over the place. I do not want to end up on my face. It won't make a good continuation to the video with blood streaming down. Would it really? Oh, sunlight. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes. It'll all either pan out or whatever. All these videos will stop and everyone will settle down till the next change. And if I can manage it, I'm not going to do another video like this while December. I'll try and back off and ignore everything that's going on and just get on with whatever I want to get on with, whatever I've chosen to do on that particular day. Oh, dear me. So, does that make this another episode of mere ravings? Anyway, I shall see you in the next video if I still have the breath. I'll see you there.